Robert Burns is the Director of Marketing and Digital Media for Sunnking, local electronics recycler. Sunnking is offering Central New Yorkers a chance to earn cash during their pandemic spring cleaning. And it seems for some, there's just a lot of time to be able to clean things up. And how do you get rid of this stuff? That becomes the big question. Robert Burns, good morning.
Hey, guys, good morning to you. I want to talk about recycling electronics, but I got pizza on the brain now after those specials I just heard.
We recycle pizza. It's called consumption. Yeah, works well.
Take it into one hand and pass it on along to the left until the rest of the pie is all for me.
That is right. That is right.
This is a program that we're launching here. Hopefully it's some money or some pizza money. It's some wing money for people out there because you can make as little as you need or as much as you need, just depending on what you have lying around the house.
So when you're looking for, this is coronabuyback.com, and you're looking at electronics, right?
Yeah, so what we did is we launched the website, as you mentioned, coronabuyback.com, for obvious reasons. I mean, it's such a tough time for everybody financially right now. We wanted to figure out a way, one, to kind of lighten the situation, but also to get people re-engaged in recycling. And one way to do that is to say, hey, we've got all this time on our hands now. We're in the house. We're sitting on the couch. We're cleaning out the closets. You can only do that stuff for so long, right?
Yeah.
And you finally go through and you realize, I got this phone from 4 years ago. What am I going to do with this? I got this computer doesn't work anymore. Well, we hopefully figured out a way for you to capitalize on it. And what you do is you go on that website, you fill out a form, and you just let us know what you have.
Okay.
We have experts that are in our warehouse. They look through what other people think are trash all the time. And they're able to sit there and say, hey, we'll give you X amount of dollars for it. We'll send you a shipping box. Just send it over to us, and we're able to, thankfully to technology, we can just transfer you the money instantly. People have PayPal. They have Venmo.
Sure.
You have the money instantly, and you can go out, and that's the same as cash.
That's very cool. So I guess that was going to be my question. You partially answered it. Are you a broker between two third parties, or your company is actually the one that's buying back the electronics?
We are the company that's buying back the electronics, and what it is, it cuts out the middleman.
Yeah.
There's a lot of companies out there that say they'll buy your phone or they'll buy your tablet, and yeah, they will, but we have the other option. So we have two things that differentiate. Is one, we take what most people won't because we are the recycler. If we can't figure out a way to repurpose it or to mine out the materials inside of it, we can always then find another life for it going forward and break it down so that, it's responsibly recycled after. So we're able to say, look, if we can't figure out what to do with it at that point, then we're able to do the right thing with it, which I think is, in the end, the most proper part of this.
How do you, I have, I think, 5 old G5 Macintosh towers, which were new. They were like $3,000 a piece at the time, but I had a whole group of editing suites and I have not gotten rid of those for one reason. I don't have the software to turn them on right now, and I know there's data on that. I know there's data on that computer that I don't want to get out there. So how do you handle that?
So we have an entire section of our warehouse, and we also opened up a satellite warehouse over in Whitesboro. And what we're able to do is that's where we can also break down the materials, but we have hard drive wiping materials, proprietary software, and also software that comes in that is certified through a number of different organizations that make sure that we can clean those hard drives and wipe them clean.
Okay.
So none of your personal data stays with us. We don't want it.
Yep.
We just want to be able to make sure the materials in the product go to the right place. So the data inside, we can even give you a certified slip that says, here, it's deleted. It is gone. It is in the trash. And now that your computer, which I might stop by and pick a couple of those up off your hands on my own because those are what they call vintage now. You might want to keep onto those for a few minutes or two. But those computers like that, those are the things that we're able to take. We've had people send us in microscopes. Anything with a plug or a battery that you don't think has any worth probably does. Let us look at it. And I think that's really where we want people to look at.
It's interesting, those G5s I've seen online where A, vintage, and B, people are using the the housing for that computer to build their own little supercomputers now with more
really
up to date. Yeah,
because I was going to say
cool.
the memory in that. You talked about that little flash drive. That's probably got more memory in that than it did in those computers.
Yeah,
right?
Robert, we're talking about how Andrew picked up a thumb drive.
Thumb drive, yeah.
And this thumb drive is 256 gigabytes. I seem to recall
that was a supercomputer back then.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I seem to recall the first thumb drive I ever got my hands on was like a 4 megabyte thumb drive, and today we're talking about gigabytes.
We get floppy drives still coming into the warehouse. We see stuff that you would have forgotten so many years ago, but we have it come on in. And what we did is this past March on our Facebook page. We did, because they took basketball away from us because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
We did our own March Madness with things that we found in the warehouse. So we were pitting, an old Sega Genesis versus an Apple II computer that came into our warehouse.
That's cool.
The old Zach Morris cell phone. That thing actually made it all the way to the final round against the the original Super Mario and Duck Hunt video game.
Oh, no contest.
That's cool. Yeah.
No contest
Yeah.
there.
So can I ask,
Mario and Duck Hunt won.
Oh, of course.
is this primarily for electronics that are considered by most today to be obsolete, or are you buying back the iPhone 8? I don't know.
We're buying back the old and the new at this point. It's really because we know people need money, and they may have bought something for work from home they don't need anymore. Or they may have bought something for the kids, or whatever the situation may be. So we're taking anything that's old, but we're also taking, new iPads. We're getting in iPhone 8s, iPhone 10s, which are, not even supported by some places anymore. They don't sell them, but, if you have one and you're upgraded and you still have it, maybe make a buck off of it. Maybe it's a situation for you. So what we really want to do is just, if we can help you pay for the car payment, that's great. If we can help buy your family dinner in this situation, that's really what it's about at this point. It just depends on what you're able to get part of.
I will tell you, I used to be I could always make more money selling my old iPhones on eBay, but I have had so many problems in the last 3 transactions. So 3 years of this, where either the iPhone was lost in the mail.
It was stolen.
At customs, or somebody trying to pull off a scam. I mean, eBay has really turned to more problem than it's worth, I'm afraid, right now. Tim in Deansboro, you're on with Robert Burns. Go ahead. Hi, Tim. You there?
Oh.
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Good morning. I have some iPhones that I forgot the password to. Is that something you take also?
So we will look at taking it, but we want to make sure that it's not locked to any of your, in an iPhone case, your iCloud account. As long as we're able to make sure it is not locked to your account, so the Find My iPhone thing is not activated anymore, you're not logged into it, or in those cases, which you can go online, I believe, on Apple, and on the back end remove some of those phones. But as long as that's the case, we're still able to go in and wipe the hard drives, and if we can't find a purpose for them, recycle them right.
And Tim, if you have a problem finding out how to do that, call either Apple or your phone company, AT&T or Verizon, wherever you got the phone, and they can in the back end disconnect that phone from your account.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Okay. All right, because otherwise the phone is useless, right, Bob?
Yeah, at that point it's a brick. We for privacy reasons on Android or iPhone, you can't go in there and just say I'm so-and-so without being able to unlock it from their account. So that's one of the privacy things that we want to adhere to as well.
Okay.
Quick for my mother. What's the going rate for a 1989 Magnavox VHS?
I can't tell you, but I know
it's a boat
someone
anchor.
in my
What would you
family
pay for a boat anchor?
I know someone in my family who has all the tapes to go along with it. It's just making sure we get those two together, and you can have your own drive-through in the backyard.
Yeah.
But just go on the website, and we have that easy form, and we have guys that sit there, and what they do all day is they price things out.
Okay.
And they'll let you know, hey, it's worth $5, it's worth nothing, it's worth $200. Depends on what it is.
One more, Andrew.
Yes, we had somebody call up and ask about stereo equipment, old stereo equipment.
Absolutely. We see stereo equipment. We love stereo equipment because there's a lot of wires in there, too, that need to be recycled properly. So we have DJ equipment come through, giant speakers come into our warehouse. Absolutely throw that on there because this is a place, like I mentioned, for that stuff you don't think anyone's going to take. Give it a shot. This is your chance.
I have an old Macintosh stereo system from the 1960s. Interested in that?
I am, personally.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Because apparently I'm interested in your entire office space and what you have in the warehouse of your basement. I'm interested in the whole thing.
I wish you were around when I was trying to get this stuff out of the office space. That would have been the time. All right.
You just pay me in pizza and beer, and we'll call it a weekend.
I like it. Pat, you're the last one here. Pat in Utica.
Yes.
Go ahead. You're on.
I have a Tandy 102 in mint condition.
Wow.
Ooh. Yeah, that's definitely something we'll look at. Some of those things are what we don't get in a whole lot, but we want to look at it because we think that there's tremendous value in our end to it because there's stuff in there that either needs to be recycled right away or if there's a use and we can put it in our warehouse and put it up for show at that point. So I would absolutely go on the website.
That, by the way, is
coronabuyback.com and submit it in there.
All right, Pat, you have something of a relic right there.
Okay.
All right.
The website again?
It's coronabuyback.com. Robert Burns, you've struck a nerve around here. I got to tell you, everybody's all over this.
Well, hopefully they're able to take advantage of the website because that's what it's here for. Take a second. We're all home right now, so we've got a few of those.
Yep.
And we all got some devices out there, so hopefully we can do the right thing together in this. And I appreciate you guys for having us on.
All right. Thanks for taking the time. We appreciate it. By the way, that website, again, is coronabuyback.com. And who knows? You might have something that'll, at the very least, it gets it out of the house.
Yes.
And you might have something that has a little value to it.